There's definitely something to be said about the good old trusty log flume. Its charm, history, throughput all make them attractive additions to any theme park looking to sit on the world stage, especially ones that are a form of farm. It just so happens that there is a perfect plot of land for this to sit, and it's also big enough for some supporting rides and even a future roller coaster. Now, it just needs the theme part of being a theme park. Oh yeah, pirates. Cliche. Hello you guys, welcome back to Planet Coaster 2, welcome back to Farmington Fields. As always, thank you so much for coming along for the ride, I really do appreciate it, especially if you found me after the Frontier video. What a week this has been, absolutely incredible. So welcome aboard the fun bus, you guys, and if you are new here and you're finding this for the first time, well, we are turning a farm into a theme park. Yes, an Alton Towers style theme park, in fact. This is what we did last week, though. We had to step out of our timeline slightly to put some more modern rides in because a pack you may have not heard about came along. It was a sorcery pack, and my god, what a pack it is. So we kind of had to just break away from our original 90s timeline and do this, but we're going to go back into our time machine because we're going back to the 90s and we're coming over to the field that I've always had my eyes on. I've always wanted to do something here, and we are putting in a log flume. Of course we're putting in a log flume, yes, of course. So here's the station. It's a dual loading station, and it's going to come into the first lift hill here, and then it's just basically going to wind its way around the forest just like the Alton Towers log flume did. You've got the second drop here. It comes around this way and into the final drop, and it's going to come down this way. And I kind of wanted to use the pond and the lake and stuff that was already here. We're going to need to extend it. We're going to need to do some landscaping to it, but I kind of figured that this was already here, so we may as well go ahead and use it. Now, I have already placed down where I want some of the buildings because I just wasn't doing very good commentary. I mean, I don't anyway, but I wasn't doing very good commentary with the idea of me placing them down live. So this is the idea of the shape of the station building. It will all make sense when I start pulling it together. This is going to be the exit of the gift shop, and I actually want the exit path. If I grab my rock, there we go. I want the exit path to sort of come around this way and then into the gift shop that way. Because then I also want the plaza area here to be separated from... Oh, why did I intonate it like that? To be separate from the actual path here. And of course I need to bring it up to the staff path that way. And then bring the plaza around this way so that then I can have the queue line coming through here and going out that way into a bit of a cattle pen. So yeah, the area is going to need a lot of landscaping and it's going to need a lot of stuff. It also needs some supporting rides. So this is what I'm thinking. I have got the Helter Skelter that is currently sitting here. I think I want to move this to this kind of area. There we go. So I can also make a little bit of a feature of this area and have it as a bit of like rocky cliff face kind of theme. I do kind of want to put a lookout in here as well, you know, like a lookout point and stuff. And it also means that I could potentially not potentially, let's be honest, it's going to happen. Theme the Helter Skelter around a lighthouse. I know that I don't remember whether it was Dutchy or Wix that did it first, so gents, please forgive me as to which one it was. I don't remember, but in the early days, one of those two absolute legends did a lighthouse with the Helter Skelter. There's another one on the workshop that I want to use. I'm not doing it myself because the workshop one is fantastic and I couldn't do a better job myself. So I'm going to pull that off the workshop. I'll show you that when it's in. But I kind of want the lighthouse to sit there. And then, of course, we're going to have a pirate ship. What pirate area is not complete, or what pirate area is complete without a pirate ship? So here it is, but I want to try my hand at something different. Now that update 7 has come along and it's a bit kinder on the old terrain and pathing, I actually want to try a Chessington, and I want to sink this down to like there, and I want to be able to try, and if I just really quickly put the entrance in, I want to try my hand at putting some terrain, or not so much terrain, I can't put terrain because it's the pad, but putting like rock work and stuff around here, so I can try and hide the ride pad and make it look like it's buried into the ground. But when you're at ground level, the boat is almost sailing. Like, you see how this is at ground level? So I kind of want to try my hand at forced perspective a little bit now that the terrain is a little bit kinder with pathing. I think I might have some scope to put the let me just get my thingy back here, to put the queue line in around sort of like this area, this place. Now, if you've got the park file, you already can see what's going on here because there's no secret that that's there. So I am working around that. That's a future episode. So that's what I'm doing. Anyway, I need to go and make all this make sense so I can explain it a bit better to you. I will see you in a minute. Alright, the construction fences are up. You know what time that is. It's that middle part where, well, it's not really a middle part. It's just the bit where I'm going to make everything that I was just babbling about all make sense, because this is the area as I envisioned it. And if you come down to ground level, there is the pirate ship, and it's sitting quite nicely at ground level. This is exactly what I was kind of going for with this vibe. I have just wrapped a queue around the outside. It is a jagged, edged queue. That's exactly as it would be. I just need to make it all make sense. But it all kind of looks a bit jank and looks a bit rubbish right now, right? Well, that's because I'm going to be able to take some of these rocks and I'm going to be able to make it look like it's all buried into the ground, right? And of course I'm going to use different rocks and stuff. I'm just doing this for demonstration purposes, but I'm going to be able to put this into the ride pad and I'm going to be able to make it look like it is buried, and I can bring this right up to the queue line like this, and then give the idea of it being in a bit of a cove or a bay or against cliffs and stuff. So yeah, I think I'm going to be able to achieve what I want to achieve with that, and I'm happy with that as a principle. So that's kind of what I'm going for here. And of course the path has come up this way, so it all should make sense. Then there's some pirate clutter and whatever. Happy days. Job is a good one. And then this is what I'm thinking about, the little covey type area. I've slapped down a path. I'm not entirely sold on where the path is going to be, but the same principle applies here, right? I'm going to be able to take the rocks in this kind of area. In fact, this has already done it for me because this is the blueprint. This is the blueprint version, but I'm going to be able to sort of like make all of that make sense in terms of cliffs and stuff. This is, in fact, the lighthouse that I was going for. So let me show you which it is on the workshop. So let me go to the workshop here. And I think when we get there, it's going to be on page 3. There it is. It's this one here. So there's your share code. If you want to download it, it is incredible. And like I say, gents, forgive me. I don't remember whether it was Wix or Dutchy that did the original. But yours, unfortunately, is too good for this space. Not saying that this one is bad. It just fits better in that sense, and it's also the traditional red and white and stuff that you would find there. So yes, love it. Just need to make the queue and everything all make sense. Then I have also just wrapped the queue around this way. I have a plan for this. I want to make it look like a boardwalk. So if I take the plank and I find any old plank, there you go, this one will do for now. Like this. I do kind of want to just do something along this line where I'm going to be able to do that. And then I have taken the queue line fence from the lighthouse, and I think I'm going to be able to do something then with that and just to rope it off so that it all makes sense. A little bit like that, right? And then it's going to lead into the shop. And then likewise, I'm going to be able to use this fence to separate the exit path and the main plaza path like so. So I think that's then going to work. And I also want to put something in the middle. Of course, it's going to need some kind of centerpiece. You, if you watch this channel, will already know what that centerpiece is going to be. And I'm not even sorry for it. But it's going to be roughly in that area just to break that up. And then down here, I have just put the cattle pen queue in, so I'm getting ready to put all of that down. And again, I'm just getting a vibe for the fence style that I want along here. I have used the in-game one for the main perimeter fence of the area, fence. But inside the log flume, I do want to use this rope along here. And I've got an idea for what I want to put along this little side here as well, just to mix it up slightly. And then I have just started the splash pool, or the collection pool for all of the water, and it's going to be in this kind of area where I'm then going to be able to use rocks and stuff along the outside just to hide off all of these tree roots and stuff and make it look a little bit more natural. So there you go. That is what I am thinking. I now need to go and make things happen. Right, so I will see you in a minute. Alright, I think I need to do a middle part because I'm already at that point where too much has changed, and if I do any more, it's just going to be completely unrecognisable. And as you can see, it is coming together so well. I mean, I'm trying a different style of pirate. I wouldn't say different. It's still the whole idea of stucco and exposed beams, but I'm going for the colourful neoclassical pirate, you know, like the market town pirate, as opposed to the dirty grungy pirate or the English heritage pirate that I've been doing recently. And I mean, even though it shares the same style and palette, I think it comes together quite nicely, you know, and I absolutely love it. And I've also got an idea, by the way, for the roller coaster station that's coming in this area, and it's going to bring everything together. So yes, right, shall I show you around? Because I think I probably should, just to let you know, the insides of the stations and the buildings and stuff, they're not done because I've been focusing so much on the outside. This is just going to need pirate clutter and tidying up and stuff, and then I think I'm going to be able to call it done. But yeah, so let's focus on the outside, because this is the building shape I wanted to go for the station. I wasn't entirely sure about it because in my head I had it sort of facing the other way, so to try and design it in reverse is actually quite difficult. And as you can see, these two walls are still blank because I don't really know what to do with it. I've got this idea for a roof that's going to come through this way, and it's going to overhang here, so I haven't got to fight with the geometry and stuff, and I don't know if it's going to work. So I need to sort of play that out, and that's then going to dictate what goes on this wall. But ultimately, this is what I wanted to do. I didn't want just a square building. I wanted it to have some kind of challenge to it, if you like, some kind of angle. I just like making rods for my own back, really, don't I? But ultimately, I like it. I am going to have a challenge down here when it comes to the awning and what texture I'm going to use. I will talk about that in a moment because I do have a solution. But I don't love it, but it's the only one that we've got. So yeah, this is the idea of the town building, and I think it's going to be all right for a market-y type thing. Now, I don't have a reason as to why this building for a log flume is so big, and I probably don't know what they would use this for. Offices, maybe. Trouble is, it's a damp environment, so it's a bit difficult to tell. Maybe storage. I don't know. There's no reason for it to be so big other than just the fact that it looks good. And that's it. I'm sticking with it. That's what we're going for. And then we've got here, so it's the food unit and a bell tower. So well, it's not really a bell tower, is it? It's just some kind of tower. I love it. Absolutely love it. I think it fits quite nicely, and it doubles up as the entrance into the actual ride as well. So that's the whole purpose. Loving the fact that we've got the driftwood and stuff back. So yeah, did I put the other side? I did. Yes. So there you go. It's gonna be cool. And then, of course, we've just got the texture. So I've just matched the texture of the queue and the main pathway, and I've coloured it black actually. But it turns out it's actually a dark grey when you're all done with it. And then, of course, the queue line itself is just a massive cattle pen. I'm toying with the idea of putting some kind of shade here, but I think trees would do the job. I don't think we need to put a direct cover over the queue. I mean, we don't tend to do that in the UK. We tend to shade our areas with trees and foliage rather than fake structures or buildings. So I think I might just copy that. And I think this is probably going to be too big for the game. I don't think the game needs this much of a queue, but hey, we're dealing with a theme park that would probably want this to house maybe 2 hours worth of people. Think of the likes of Loggers Leap at Thorpe Park. And in fact, the Alton Towers log flume, that queue line going all the way round was quite long, you know. So then here is the gift shop. Again, not done inside other than placing where I want the counters. It needs a lot of tidying up, and it needs its gift shop stuff adding in. And I do kind of want to make something inside, you know. I want it to be piratey, and I think the pirate clutter is really, really going to help sell this, because at the moment it's like, is it Western, is it pirate? Actually, no, it looks pirate, doesn't it? Let's be honest. And then this is another sort of like bell tower almost, and I just had this idea of it being similar to this one, but also different enough in design. And then this is my my solution to the roof problem, because we don't have this angled roof in the grid pieces or in the in-game piece palette. I'm having to use planks here, and I don't hate it. I don't love it though, because it's not the texture I wanted to go for. This texture in the sorcery pack, this is what I wanted to go for. That whole worn down, rusticy kind of tile, and I kind of wanted this to go through it, but you know, it is what it is. So fine, I'm happy with that. Whether or not I'm going to keep it this colour red, I think this colour red is probably a bit too much, and I kind of like the dullness of this one. This is more of a pinky washed out colour than this, which is very brand new. So maybe I'll change the colour to be a bit more washed out, but I think I need to see the whole roof in context before I can decide whether the colour is right. But ultimately, this is exactly as I wanted the exit coming out of the station. Coming along this way, along some kind of wharf, and then having the main plaza separated and then fenced off and stuff, so you actually have to leave via the gift shop. I completely forgot, by the way, that these little wharfs actually existed in-game, and I just tried it on for size, so especially now they're resizable, so I can actually make it the width of the path, because you can just resize it, and I think actually this works way better than anything I could have done. So I am going to stick to the in-game one for this one. I think absolutely 100% works. So then you've got the pirate ship. Oh my god, the pirate ship works. It absolutely works. Of course, foliage is going to make this come to life. This is just showing you the progress and the prototype of how I think it's going to feel and look. And this is exactly as I wanted it to feel like. Yeah, I have extended the queue line, by the way. I know for a fact that this one does need a slightly longer queue, so I have just put in an extra line of cattle pen here. But yeah, this is exactly as I thought it was going to turn out, and it actually feels quite natural. As I said, the foliage and stuff that I've added in here, it kind of just sells the idea. It's going to need more. It needs more height foliage, trees and stuff, but this kind of sells the idea. Yeah, bit of tidying up and it's all going to be good. I love it. I'm here for it. Absolutely here for it. I've just then started to think about what the area access is going to be, and I am going to eventually put a path that's going to lead all the way around the outside here, and then back up into the junior coaster area. So watch this space on that. That's going to come in future. So the actual ride area itself, then you'll notice that I have taken away the concrete pool, if you like, and I've actually made my own. Watching log flumes and stuff, it's not very often you're able to have the big concrete pool that sits on the top of the water. I mean, you can, but this is the far more likely solution. And it also means as well that the water and stuff can actually be filtered through maybe some fake rocks and stuff here. I have just given it all of its shoes and stuff. Oh, you can't really see it under the water because I've used the natural water. But I've given all of its shoes and girders and stuff, so it's all fully supported. And then from up here, it actually looks like it should. And then elsewhere in the ride, I've done the same. So at the bottom of all of the lift hills, it has the same thing. Has the pool of water that collects it, and they all have catwalks, and they're all connected to somewhere. Not necessarily fully connected, but they are connected and accessible. Just need to throw some pirate stuff around, and I think all I'm going to do is just some random pirate stuff. I don't think this is going to be one of those rides that's going to be heavily themed on the actual log flume itself. All of the effort would be done to the area and selling it as being a pirate area, as opposed to being a fully immersive thing. Think of like the log flume at Alton Towers in the Merry England section. It was great in the area in the station, but the log flume itself was just through the trees. So yeah, that's what I've done. But yeah, these are the little pools and the troughs and stuff that I've added in. As I said, I've connected them where I can to each other, and then that is now connected to a maintenance bay. I mean, this is far too big for what we're trying to achieve for a log flume, but it's fine. I'm alright with it. This retaining wall has now been put in. I think it was needed. I don't love it, but I think it's needed. And of course, when the coaster comes in, you'll see why it's needed. And then I've just connected it up to the road. And then the road is then connected up down here into the car park. And then along here, I have just started to give the train its personality now. So, you know, I said when I put this in that I hadn't done this bit. Now I know how the area is sitting and how it's going to land. I can now finish off the railway line along here, and actually it looks way better. Trees and stuff are going to be needed, but yeah, I think it's going to work. So there you go. That's the midpoint progress. I love it. I just need to go and finish it now. So I will see you in a minute. Oh, and just like that, we are done. Look at this. I love it. Absolutely love how this has come together. It's just the colours and the vibe and the decor and the design. Yes, I'm here for it. I'm totally here for it. And this one thing actually that Planet Coaster does well, it's that whole cartoony style of like building. So yes, I am 100% here for it. And I know that the guests are completely ignoring the gates, but we're gonna open and do the official thing anyway. There you go. We are done. Welcome then to Buccaneer Bay. Yeah, I always call my pirate areas Buccaneer Bay. Of course I do. And I also know, by the way, that I've sort of reached the point where I need to stop because I started to do stuff around the roller coaster for what I think is going to be the next episode. So that told me that I was all completely done. Oh my god, I don't even know where to begin to show you around. Like we've got this little viewing point here. I didn't realise actually that it was going to be such a viewing point until the path and stuff started to go down, and then this whole sightline started to open up between the building and the Helter Skelter. So yeah, I love it. It's just yes. And then now I've finished all of the rock work and stuff, you can pretty much see where the water level would rise to when this isn't in operation, and you can see that this is like the collecting pit for everything. And the sorcery pack roofing looks so good. Looks so good. I love it. And this whole awning porch area, actually it's fine. I did decide to make it less red, to pinken it up slightly, and it absolutely vibes. I mean, even this corner bit here, I wasn't too sure whether it was actually going to work, but it does, you know. It's fine. It's fine. I wish we could have the texture, but I'm not mad. It's turned out all right. So yeah, happy days. Queue line then. I've actually not done a lot here because, as you know, the coaster's coming in, so I kind of need to let that breathe and stuff first. But inside station, that's now all completely done. So there you go. It's a bit like theming actually. It's all just stuff thrown on the wall, all the pirate stuff just thrown there. There you go, see you later. Likewise with the exit as well, it's all the same here. It's like the dead bodies and stuff that are on the wall. It's all your typical piratey type stuff. But this is the exit then, and I love how this building looks from down here. It's just because I like doing the Tudor stuff and I like doing pirate. I think these two together have come together really nicely. And the colours, I think I'm glad I chose to do colours, and I think I'm glad I chose all the primary colours as well. I think it all comes together quite nicely. I think the yellow, the blue, the red and the green actually work. So yeah, it's all good. The sorcery pack has really come to life with some of the wood textures and the townhouse brick and whatever. Yes. So this is exactly how I wanted this exit path to be, separated by a bit of foliage, and just like bringing it to life that way. It gives a little bit of separation, and it gives, I don't know, a bit of flow to the area, because of course we're going to be connecting up a path from here, and there's going to be a path that's going to run round this way eventually that heads out towards whatever the future development at the back end of the park would be, right? So yeah, I'm glad that I've got this here because it gives a little bit of movement to the area or circulation to the area where there isn't otherwise any. So of course the central feature was going to be a ship. Of course it was going to be a ship. It was never going to be anything else. Every single pirate area I have ever done has had this ship, pretty much in this configuration actually. The difference is, of course, we can now resize and stuff, but I love it. Bit of scrubbery and a few rocks and stuff around here, and call it done. And I love it. I'm actually happy with how this is. And when the coaster is in place, I think this is going to be quite a nice little area. This is going to be quite a nice little centerpiece for it to work to. So yes, I'm happy. And then this is the gift shop. I absolutely love this. Whoop, that's a tree. I love this gift shop. I love how it's come together. I love the colours. I love the design of it. I think, yeah, I've pulled this one off. Inside, it's just a gift shop. I didn't really want to do much else to it. I just wanted to have it as a gift shop. There's too many shelves, so these gift shops are actually operating as two. I think I've joined these two together, and I think this one's operating separately. And then I've just chosen a whole bunch of shelves to be for that shop. So it's all good. And then, of course, you've got the Helter Skelter that's sitting there as the lighthouse. I mean, it's brilliant. It just gives that cartoon vibe, doesn't it? And I think it's worked out quite nicely. As I said, we've now got this nice little view of the drop. And I did put a boat in. It's probably a bit expensive for what we're trying to achieve, and it's rescaled because the actual in-game boat is massive. The galleon. So I've actually resized it, and I think it looks all right, pretty much there. And then I have just put gravel on the ground here as the texture. I didn't want it to be a concrete base. I think a natural pond would probably work better in this instance. So yeah, I dig the natural water being like this greeny colour. I do wish we could recolor water. We can't recolor the main water, can we? I'm not making it up. No, we can't recolor the water. Okay, fine. I'm glad. I know we can other waters, but yeah, okay. The natural... No, wait, that's the wrong one. The natural water we can't. Fine, okay. I mean, it looks a little bit dirtier than perhaps I would want it to be, but I'm not mad. It gives it a little bit of character. It gives a little bit of flavour from up here, right? So I'm all right. I'm all right with that. And then this little food unit. Well, this was the first thing I actually finished because I wanted to get a vibe for what finishing touches needed to happen in this area for it to all make sense. So I put in all of the equipment and the fluorescent lighting. It's very utilitarian, but I quite like it. Utilitarian, that's right, isn't it? And then I just put the extra bits of clutter on the outside just to give a little bit of personality, and I think it comes to life, especially with the picnic benches and stuff at the front here. I think this all works. Otherwise, this was too much of an open area, particularly as you want guests to come around this way into the queue line, right? So yeah, happy days there. And then this is the pirate ship. I don't know what it is. This bit here, it feels empty, but when I've put stuff in there, it feels cluttered. I don't know what the answer is. I've tried all sorts. I've tried slightly higher bushes, bigger trees, smaller trees, no rocks. I don't know, it's just this area feels a bit dead. So I've kept it as it is for now because the trees around it make it all make sense. And from guest level, it also makes sense from down here. So I like the fact that it's kind of on ground level, but it's kind of not, and the fact that it's sunken down, it kind of gives me Ramesses Revenge vibe. Well, actually Blade at Alton Towers, of course, but Ramesses Revenge vibes at Chessington. That was kind of sunk down needlessly. So yeah, I'm happy, and I'm happy with how it's turned out. I'm happy with the queue line. I'm happy with how this guest flow works, and I'm happy with this exit path as well. So happy, basically, it is the word we're going for here. And then just to show you what I've done down here, I've actually recoloured the brick. It's that herringbone brick. It's the usual pink that we would find here in the UK. It's actually the correct colour. I've taken the hex colour off of Tinterwebs, so I know it's the correct colour. And I have just put down some signs, beware of the train, because of course it is the train. What I do need to do though, but I'm not quite ready to do it because I need to edit the paths and stuff here, I need to sink this down so it's just in the just the rails. So that's like, I started to do that here, look, but yeah, so I still need to do that, and I've deliberately not done that, but I will be doing that when I come and do the path a little bit later on. So inside the ride area then, not much has changed. I didn't actually put any theming down, and that's because I need the coaster to come in to know what space I've got. Otherwise I was going to be spending a load of time decorating stuff around a coaster, which is then going to give away, mind you, they're just going to give away the game anyway because you can download the park for yourself, but it was kind of going to give away the vibe of what I was going to do, so I've left it for now. I'll come back and do that when the coaster is in, because I need to do some terrain changes and stuff, so all of that needs to happen before I can put theming in the actual log flume area. But I'm not mad that this is unthemed. Again, Alton Towers log flume was completely unthemed other than the dinosaurs, so It absolutely works as precedent. There's precedent that's been set. So there you go. That's the area from the top. I love it. I just absolutely love how it's come together. Guys, thank you for getting to the end of this episode. I do appreciate it. As always, like, comment, subscribe, blah, 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 blah. We are going to go for a ride on the log flume. Fair warning, though. It's probably going to be a bit boring because it's just going to be a log flume. But hey, let's do it anyway. See you next time. Have a good one. Ta-da.